episode of Principal Podcast. Our topic today is planning for a successful transition to the middle school. And I have some, as you can see, wonderful guests today. I have Trudy Roberts, Principal of Center School, Michael Larkin, Principal of Crystal Lake School, David Welch, Principal of the Windermere School, and Jen Kinney, Assistant Principal at Windermere. So I want to say welcome and thank you. You guys have crazy busy schedules, so I appreciate you all being here.
Thanks for having me here. Yeah.
So you are all in this change going on right now. There's a reconfiguration where you now have, some of you have new grade levels in your school, and now you have new 5th and 6th graders, and some of you have a few 5th and 6th graders now that they've gone to the school. So how's the transition going?
I will say it has been a real pleasure watching these children grow into 5th and 6th grade. We've seen them since kindergarten, and now here they are, just ready to take that next step.
Awesome.
There is something really special about being able to watch kids for 7 years vertically and grow and learn, and it's been really great to have them, see them in leadership roles and working with the younger kids. It's been fun.
Well, I think it's been really seamless. What we have found is, at first we were a little upset losing so many of great teachers, but they went to great schools. But at the same time, losing these kids too, that we were used to having 2 different schedules, 2 different schools running simultaneously. So it's really been seamless in the sense that now they're going to neighborhood schools in essence. So we have felt nothing other than just less numbers, certainly less in staff as well.
Great. That's truly exciting what you're doing in your schools. We are at the middle school looking forward to welcoming your new 6th graders here next year. We know it's going to be a little bit different because for the first time, David, you're used to the idea of being the gathering spot for Ellington schools. And now we take on that role of now the kids will be coming from your separate schools and actually coming into classrooms the first time here. So we've been meeting monthly, honestly, to sort of like plan for this unique transition. Would you please mind sharing some of the activities that we've been talking about in terms of planning for this unique transition?
Well, let me start by just saying that it's been a constant in terms of making sure our kids experience middle school, what that's going to be like, and at the same time, our kids who have come here already come down and they're able to visit with us, with our kids. So it's really kind of creating a bridge, and that bridge becomes another piece of helping kids help themselves, being excited about moving to another phase in their life. And so kids will come down, groups of kids, other professionals from school, from the middle school, and meet with our kids in groups. They'll do group games, and they'll get them excited about the new transition in their life. And at the same time, our kids are able to come up here and visit and tour the building. That's all.
Because we're in pretty little practice at this, right? We've been doing this, so Windermere in the middle school have been doing this for forever. Right? Back when you and I had, maybe hair back then. No.
That's a long time.
Right. From a parent standpoint, we sort of wait until April or May. I send you that flyer like every time, and then David and Jen, you're good enough to put in your newsletter, but then there's the parent open house we have, or the orientation. So I'll be sending that to both you and Michael as well. So you'll be part of getting this flyers and inviting parents into a parent night.
Right.
We always receive such positive feedback when that happens. Parents really enjoy being able to come up and see the building and understand a little more of the transition. And they leave feeling much more comfortable with this next step.
And I will tell you this too. I never fail to have an opportunity when I'm meeting with my 6th graders for whatever reason, an award, a conversation. I'll say, so you getting excited going to the middle school? And I get their feedback right away. And if they have any reservations or trepidations at all, I'm able to say, hey, you're going to love it. Because kids need to know as they get older, there's more freedoms, there's more privileges, they're not to abuse those privileges, and so they get very excited.
No, it's really, I appreciate all your help, and I look forward to working with you 2 principals now as this transition. So we've been meeting monthly, and we've been talking about this, but we know now that we're the gathering spot, so to speak. Like I mentioned earlier, we've been talking a little bit about doing something a little bit different this year, right? So can you 2 talk a little bit about maybe some of the things we're talking about?
Yeah, so we're trying to seize every opportunity we can to have our 6th graders actually get into the building and
Yeah.
experience what it's like to be in the middle school and navigating the halls here. So already starting this fall, we have some of them participating in math counts. So we've had them once a week come
Yeah.
being bused from the schools here to the middle school. They're really enjoying that experience. We're looking forward to the production this spring of The Lion King, so we'll be sending our students over as audience members, but not only as audience members, but also again an opportunity for them to be in the building and not only see the building, navigate the building, but see what an opportunity there is for them once they get
maybe
here to
plan to see that
participate.
they might be actors
Exactly,
and singers
maybe they'll be on the
themselves.
stage next time. Yes,
Exactly, yeah.
There's
So
other
that's
opportunities they might be able to explore when they're here too. So
Yeah.
we talk about the zone,
Yeah.
that's an option for them to be thinking about. Maybe
Yeah.
that's something that they want to
Yeah.
explore. All new adventures
Yeah.
for them.
So let me just clarify for anybody who doesn't know the zone's an after-school program, but some activities we've done in the past is cooking, learning Chinese, babysitting, learning how to play cricket. In many ways, our kids are the ones that come up with that. But our hope is that if we can get sixth graders to come early in the springtime and we can work it out together, there's that early middle school experience so that by the time they get here in September, it's like, oh, I've been here at least half a dozen times, and that sense of comfort there,
Mhm.
yeah.
The beauty of, and it's innate, I think, in a sixth grader, is what happens with the sixth grader in my travels and certainly my experience, that kids at that age are at that point where they are like, I'm outgrown the elementary school. So they're excited right away, right from the get-go, to go to a middle school and be able to participate in sports and things of that nature too. So there is an automatic excitement about it too, which is good, and we cultivate that. I think in middle school.
And I actually think that it's funny because as we're taping this, our middle schoolers are at the high school right now. And we have both transitions. So literally the buses left just a few minutes ago. And you could see that same excitement in their eyes, wondering, geez, what's going to happen there? It's a new beginning. And our sixth graders have that same sort of awe and nervousness a little bit as they're doing it. And we know that the work we're doing is trying to capitalize on their excitement and sort of reduce their anxiety the best we can. You know?
Demystify it at the same time.
Exactly. Exactly.
We also have had the pleasure of having 5th and 6th grade band, which
Oh,
you guys
yeah.
are used to, but
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
new for the elementary
Oh.
schools. And so the opportunity for them to extend that into a summer band camp is
Yeah.
fun, another way to get them
Yeah.
ready to join their new peers.
Yeah, we will have several camps. There's a reading camp, there's a band camp. Again, the theme here as we work together is early middle school experiences. How many times can they get into the building to the point where by the time they walk in on the first day of school,
I got it.
Familiar.
I got it.
Done that.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But also too, it's nice when your kids come down and visit their old stomping grounds. Our kids listen intently.
Yeah.
Like that kids
Yeah.
listen to their older
Exactly.
siblings and stuff, and they learn so much, and they're more attuned to that.
Exactly. It'll be fun for our kids because they're not going to do it just once now. They're going to do it 3 times.
Right,
So,
right.
But it is all student led. These kids do all the conversations. It's a great opportunity for them to share their experiences, and they'll come to the classrooms. And I think you'll look forward to having them there. And they'll be excited to be back in your schools too. To tell you the truth. Awesome. Well, I want to say this. I want to say thank you because you're busy people for being here today, but also being very thoughtful about how this transition is going to happen for these 6th graders and 7th graders for the first time bringing them together. So let's finish this way. You are all experienced educators and you've been in the world of helping kids make transitions for a long time. Do you have any advice for parents for them to help their children make this transition from the elementary to the middle school level?
Well, there's going to be a bit of a shift in the morning routine, so that might be one of the things to start thinking about
that's true.
already. Is
That's a
middle
shocker
school-
to the system.
It is, and some of us deal with that better
Set
than
that
others.
alarm a little earlier than that.
Set that alarm a little earlier. Yeah, middle school starts earlier than
Yeah, it
elementary
does.
school, so that might be something to start getting used to.
Yeah, good point.
I would like to see the parents to help us to instill the self-advocacy skills that we think are really important at this age, that the kids need to be able to speak up and not be afraid to do that, to be encouraged to do that, to be able to be self-reliant, introspective, and this is the age where you see that come out a little more, and you want to encourage that and certainly foster that as much as possible. So I think that's an important thing. I also believe that from a parent's perspective and for our parents is to encourage students at all times to keep focused
Yeah.
with what they're doing as
Yeah.
far as their academics and
Yeah.
things. That it will come easy and it will come naturally if they stay on track.
Yeah, a little bit of persistence, good
Right,
advice.
right.
Yeah.
I think my advice would be that middle school transition is such an exciting time, and it's a time to try new things and be exposed to new things outside of the elementary model. So even just expanding their social circle, meeting new friends for the first time, all these
Right,
schools are
right.
coming together.
Yeah.
But then also all the different opportunities that a middle school would offer in terms of sports or clubs or activities. It's just really a chance to get to know who you are as a
Yeah.
person and flourish.
Get involved.
It's interesting because I think as they go to the secondary level, the afternoon time is a little bit more accessible to them. There's interscholastic sports, there's music, so you see that after school sort of opening up for our middle school kids versus elementary, and think about the possibilities
Right.
there. Yeah,
Finding new hobbies and interests.
yeah, great advice.
But parents also have a tendency sometimes, as they get older, they move away from their involvement in schools. You know, at the elementary, they're very involved and they have a tendency to move away. This is the time.
Yeah.
You know, the adolescent says,
Yeah.
stay away, you know, stand back when I'm walking in the mall, but make sure you drive me there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what you want to make sure they do is get more involved. I want parents to be more involved at the
Yeah.
middle and high school
Yeah.
level, because this is
Yeah.
really, the kids
Yeah.
are crying
There
out
is.
for that help.
And there's different ways of getting involved. David, you're a former middle school principal, so
Right.
I know you're speaking from experience, but there's different ways on the sidelines and different sort of activities. You can see parents becoming involved that way.
Right.
It's a different way of trying to get involved, but they want your involvement. There's no doubt
Absolutely.
about that.
As much as they say they don't.
Yeah, exactly.
I also want to say that students take their lead from the adults
They do.
around them, and they take it from our energy. So the attitude that we project is the attitude they absorb.
Yeah.
And so if we want them to be happy about the transition and excited about the transition,
Right.
that needs to be our model
Yeah.
for them
Yeah.
as well. And these next 2 years are going to be
Yeah.
unbelievable transformations
Yeah.
for these children.
That's great. Thank you for the incredible advice and what you've offered, and I really have appreciated working together. And I'm particularly appreciative that each of you invited me to your PTOs this spring, and it's my hope then to sort of answer questions directly from parents that you have. So I'll see your parents this spring, and I thank you for that opportunity. So thank you again for listening to this Principal Pearson podcast with the title of Successful Transition to the Middle School, and thank you to our wonderful guests.
Thank you.
Thank you.